Hello, I'm Eric Anderson, Chair of the Advocacy Committee. I would like to begin by thanking the other members of the Advocacy Committee that volunteered their time. In fact, most board members were engaged in our advocacy efforts in one way or another. Advocacy continues to be a primary focus, and we had numerous engagements at municipal and provincial levels last year. Here are some of the highlights. In July, we attended the Pinwar Conference in Boise, and while there, engaged with Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure, Rob Fleming. Last year, Concrete BC's chair presented to BC's Select Standing Committee on Finance and Government Services, and when the committee released their report, Concrete BC's issues were mentioned and put into recommendations. This is an example of how our cumulative efforts are having an effect. In September, we partnered with the Cement Association of Canada on a UBCM trade show booth in Vancouver, supporting the Concrete Zero Action Plan, and met with Infrastructure and Transit Minister Dan Coulter, along with dozens of municipal politicians. In November, Concrete BC held our first lobby days in Victoria, which was a significant milestone for the association. We advocated to ministers and MLAs on Concrete Zero Action Plan, infrastructure spending, resiliency and design, workforce development, and CCPO. We held direct meetings with many senior government ministers. We hosted a government luncheon at the Empress, attended by over 25 government ministers and MLAs, as well as an opposition evening reception. In addition, the board was recognized during question period. In December, we attended the GVBOT address by TransLink CEO and the BC Chamber of Commerce Premier and Cabinet Luncheon. In January, we met with City of Vancouver councillors and spoke about Concrete Zero. In February, we were invited by the Minister of Finance to attend the stakeholder budget lockup in Victoria. This allowed us to get an advanced look and consultation on the 2024 BC budget. After the budget was read in the legislature, we participated in the media scrum and attended a post-budget reception in the legislature lobby, where we had the chance to speak with the Premier and a number of his ministers. Following this, we attended the Premier's budget recap to the Board of Trade. Earlier in February, we attended GVBOT's State of the City address by City of Vancouver Mayor Ken Sim. In an effort to show provincial decision makers what the ready-mix business is really like, in March we began a series of plant tours, starting with Minister Kang at Burnco in Burnaby. In April, we hosted Minister Mercier for a tour of Vancouver Ready-Mix in Langley. In May, we hosted Minister Fleming for a tour of Trio Ready-Mix in Victoria. In July, we welcomed Infrastructure and Transit Minister Coulter to Lafarge and Chilliwack, and Speaker Chauhan at Burnco and Burnaby. Later in July, we hosted the City of Burnaby's Chief Administrative Officer, Leon Gus, and their stakeholder relations team at the Lafarge Kent Avenue plant in Vancouver. Advocacy needs to be a continuous, ongoing process, and all politics is local. In light of this and the upcoming provincial election, we produced a provincial campaign kit to help members engage with their existing MLAs and the candidates. We encourage you to reach out to them, introduce yourselves, and find out who they are and whether they support your business. They are, after all, looking for your votes. You can download this campaign kit from Concrete BC's website. There is a lot of change going on politically right now, with many existing ministers and government MLAs not running again, the rapid rise of the BC Conservatives, and the quick decline of BC United. Even if there's no change in government come October 19th, many of these faces will be different and almost all will be in new roles. The one thing we do know for sure is that infrastructure and housing will continue to get built, and concrete is going to be a big part of BC's future. This has been a big year for advocacy for Concrete BC, and a major pivot of our external strategy, engaging politicians and stakeholders. I think we're making great progress. Thank you.